Hi, everybody. Good morning. Can we start?
Yes, definitely. We've got about 60 students in at the moment, and we're expecting more. So I think it would be a good time to start.
Okay, welcome everybody who's on the call, and actually thank you very much for the opportunity for us to share what it is that the brand stands for and a couple of things that we've executed so far. So the title of my presentation will be Winning with Brand Beyond, our brand in 2020 and beyond, because the brand is what actually carries our products and actually helps us communicate with the market. Next slide, please, Malashadi. So we identified around 2016 that we actually need to basically fill the gap in terms of trying to reduce our costs and become more agile, more competitive, and more commercial so that we can bring relevant products to you guys in the market as and when we have them, and make sure that actually we're able to drive our business, but also our deliver on our role in society as a bank. Next slide, please, Mashadi. So what we wanted our brand to help us with at the time, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what the brand stands for. Next slide, Mashadi. It needed to help us with basically crystallizing our character and point of view, and also show how the brand, how we stand apart from all the other financial services, and also show practical value that helps us, to be able to access the market and sign up accounts, so to facilitate, so that people can facilitate whatever it is that they need to from a transactional point of view. We also, as a brand, wanted to unite behind one believable, actionable idea, and we also wanted to be relevant across all segments. Okay, next slide, Masadi. So the universal insight, after much work that we did, we came up with one universal thought that, the insight that actually drove us into creating the brand that we have today. And that insight was that money well managed can make a real difference to people's lives, and one should take it seriously. And I think this is a very important statement, because when we talk about management of money, we are talking at all levels. So as a bank, we're in the business of actually facilitating transactions and also lending money making sure that money is lent for building infrastructure and everything like that. And what we started to pick up was that generally, as a trend, we were seeing that there were so many areas of society that weren't managing money well. I mean, one just to bring up was the challenges that we saw at the parastatals and everything, and which basically signaled that we were not really, and money well managed, it means that you are responsible with the way that you do things, and you do things for the greater good for people. And this is a philosophy, this is an insight where we felt that as a brand, we need to take this aspect absolutely seriously. Next slide, please. So our purpose as well, it's important to understand the point of a purpose. The point of a purpose is that one thing that drives you to actually wake up in the morning and have a meaningful impact in society, so that you can actually impart what it is that you actually came on this earth to do. So for us, as a bank, we in society, because we want to use our financial expertise to do good for individuals, families, businesses, and society. If we can actually apply that to everything that we do, then the good will be delivered to all these four stakeholders. Next slide, please, Mashadi. So this is just a brief brand ladder that we wanted to understand, like I told you, our purpose, why we get up in the morning and do what it is that we do, and why we're in business is to do good. Okay, what is our vision? Like, the vision is like what we want to see in future. We want to be the most admired financial service provider in Africa by our staff, clients, shareholders, regulators, and communities, because we operate with these different stakeholders. So that is basically our vision going forward. I've already explained to you the universal insight, and basically, our essence, which is your core, at the core of who you are, is that we are money experts who do good. And what we mean by that is that every product or service that we actually take out to market, we must make sure that it does good for the constituents that we're actually trying to deliver for. So whether it be youth banking, whether it be seniors, whether it be business banking, and corporate investment banking, it must actually deliver good in the end of the day. And our payoff line was a provocation to say, at the end of the day, money is a means to an end, and people see money as money as just exchange currency, like currency exchange. But if you actually see the good that money can do, then you see it differently, and therefore you apply it differently. Next slide, please, Mashadi. So why is this important? Like for all these constituents that I spoke about, is that for a person who is at the bottom of the pyramid, we want to make sure that our products and services and what we offer as financial advice, and also where we channel our initiatives, actually is the difference between surviving and living for somebody's entry-level banking. And in the youth market, it's the life that you guys live versus the life that you dream of. So everything that we do, we must take into mind that you've got a current state of mind, like you're living in a current situation, but obviously you've got a dream and future, whether it's education or whether it's basically study loans or whatever it is. Our product should actually tailor to make sure that it's the difference between the life that you live versus the life you dream of. For our middle market, which is probably like more middle class, is to say it's a difference between living and living well. So whatever it is that we do, we make sure that ultimately you are able to achieve the goal of living well. For affluent is about living well now, because we do know that we've got a stratified society, not, in South Africa, we've got to try to actually cater for broad constituents, which that we've got challenges with certain things. And also trying to make sure that we deliver the best for all these broad constituencies, so that we can also help reduce the inequalities that we see. So for an affluent person, it's a difference between living now versus leaving a legacy. The business is an idea versus its realization, because we fund businesses. We give businesses money to actually go and start to create economic growth, and also add to our real GDP that actually helps to create jobs. And for a corporate, it's the difference between standing still and expansion, which also plays into that whole role of how we actually better society. How do we actually make sure that there is more of the pie that actually society can share overall? The next slide, please, Mashadi. So when we looked at this positioning, we actually wanted to make sure that it's always relevant in whatever environment, economic environment we operate in. So right now we are sitting, we all know that GDP is down and the economy is not doing that great. But when we say in terms of economic downturn, our expertise and the will to do good will just basically help us then make sure that, we encourage savings and preserving and good financial behavior and sustainable practices. So we do all of that stuff, and you also see how we have actually really participated in helping to alleviate the stress on businesses that are under distress under COVID. And then also in terms of economic growth, when things are good in the boom cycle, is to provide tools and opportunities to enable creation, innovation, and expansion. So we made sure that we are able to cater for both good and for both bad times, because those are definitely certain in terms of the business, the way that actually society operates. The next slide, please, Mashadi.
Just before we move to the next slide, Notes, I think we have a question. I saw somebody raising their hand, but because I'm in presentation mode, I'm not sure who that is. Andile, are you able to see who has a question?
Yes, I am. Can we maybe leave the questions to the end of the presentation?
That's fine, not a problem.
Thank you so much, Andile, and thank you for whoever posted the question. It's much appreciated. So our central organizing thought, which is to be money experts who do good, actually at the heart of it is our people and the people brand, the people, because at the end of the day, guys, to do all of these things, we need to do it by people. Please, I'm so sorry, I'm home alone. I'm so sorry, guys. I wasn't anticipating the door. So basically, what it means is that from an internal point of view, we embody a culture and leadership values that actually at the end of the day will be able to facilitate a stronger brand externally and also provide products and services that are actually relevant in the market. Next slide. At Nedbank, actually, we want to basically excel in 5 things that will support our purpose. And these is to be best-in-class financial expertise. And because we want to be known as financial industry experts and have all best-in-class staff at levels, at client levels to interface, to demonstrate that we take the client's money seriously. Already from this particular one, you'll see the initiatives that we actually do in terms of educating our staff around, financial practices and how to manage money and everything, that we are trying to actually make sure that we build the expertise internally so that the expertise can be translated externally. So also value-added partnerships, what we committed to do and is interact with our clients, and also like people like the session that Andile is now actually hosting, is to also be an opportunity to add meaningful value and build real partnerships that inspire good, sustainable financial behavior. And not only that, but also to make sure that we don't leave too many people, outside. For us, the youth is important, and we know that there's so many challenges at this point around youth unemployment, access to opportunities, and all of those things. So partnerships such as these actually help us to try and solve some of those problems. Impactful outcomes, everything that we do must make sustainable, positive difference. And it must drive every aspect of our business. Client-centered innovation, we need to basically understand your voice as the youth, so that at the end of the day, we are able to provide products and services that actually address your pain points. And that also makes it a lot more easier for innovation for us. Seamless and accessible financial services, because actually everything is about access to financial services and access to the economy, access to everything. So we also focus on creating seamless products and services and channels that are easy to understand, accessible, and purchase and use. Because I think you may attest that sometimes finance and banking can be a little bit complicated, but the thing is that our job is not to complicate it further, because when you do that, you actually leave a lot of people behind. The next slide, sorry, Mashadi.
So that was the end. Now we're gonna go into any
so
questions.
Can we play some of the videos, the brand videos?
Okay.
So basically we we'll go back to the competition. Got a lovely competition. Can everybody hear it?
No, the audio is not coming through.
The audio?
Sorry, is everybody able to hear?
No.
I think stop sharing and then reshare and include audio in your sharing.
Okay.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry about that. I can't pick up the audio.
Are you able to pick up the audio?
I wasn't able to pick up the audio. I don't know if anybody else was.
No, it didn't come through on my side as well. I think stop sharing. Okay, then reshare, but at the bottom of the window, there'll be an option to include audio.
Perfect, I've got it now.
Cool.
You can do anything. All you need is determination and a fresh pair of these nallies. But what's the point of looking like an NJ game if all your money is on your feet and your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for Ikram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
I'm going to play the next one.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized, trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
I'm going to play the last ad.
Indulge your desires. Be swept away by the fragrance of descent. Take the plunge into impulsive spending until you find yourself deeper and deeper, drowning in debt. In this world of temptation, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Okay, those were all our ads.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mashadi. Please, can you do me a favor and we just project, because I mean, we've shared all of this work, and I would just like we've got a little giveaways or little packages valued at about 1,000 Rand each. I mean, really cool prizes in there. And I would really appreciate it if you email me and let me know which is your favorite ad. I mean, the first 5 people to respond, I mean, the winners of the prize. My email address, if I can hand it over, is nolwazih, NOLWAZIH @nedbank.co.za. So as you can see, these are the prizes that you can be won. And like I say, everything in this slide, there'll be 5 packages of each. So anybody off the mark to email me and let me know. That's my email address. Thank you, Andile. To email me, I mean, you will definitely just let me know which is your favorite ad. I mean, I'd like to get your feedback on it. Are there any further questions?
There are a few hands. Before we get to the hands, there's one in the Q&A box. Sorry,
Okay,
can you hear me?
I can see. How much does it cost, or what does one have to do when they want to seek accounting and financial consulting from the bank for their small business during lockdown? And this is from Kebble Dumisani Chipepera. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly, Dumisani. So obviously you get in touch with our small business banking services team, and you access those details if you go onto our Nedbank website. But I will also take your details, because my email address has been already shared to you by Andile. You send me an email and I'll direct you to the right people, so that you don't have to wander through the website. I hope that helps. You can just thumbs up. Could everybody hear me?
Yes, we could hear you, Nels. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to allow Scalo. You may unmute and ask your question. Scalo Glove.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the informative presentation. I just have a few questions. I hope it's relevant, but I just wanted to know in terms of because you say the adverts, you would rather a bank that takes your money or takes your money seriously. I'd just like to maybe if you give us an overview in terms of the risks with banking with or with partnering with Nedbank, and also some of the products that you guys would then purchase using my money, and how would those returns be, or the risks? I hope I make sense.
No, definitely you do. And I hope I can do justice to your answer. I think when you partner with any business, it's Scalo, right? Scalo.
Yes.
When you partner with any business, you must understand if you're going to come to a bank and you're going to apply for a personal loan, we always believe that when you apply for a personal loan, it should not be for conspicuous consumption. And what I just to spend in GA, but in order, it must be a loan that actually does something productive for you going forward. Because what happens that when you borrow money from anybody, the reality is that you've got to assess your ability to pay the money back. And because at the end of the day, you must understand the way that the banks operate is that we take deposits from the public, so deposits, and then we lend it out for people for productive use. And therefore, you carry for that, that's why you pay interest, because it has to carry a risk, because actually it's deposited money that you're actually using. So you must always be cognizant when you go and borrow from a bank that whatever you're borrowing is for a productive use, and that you do not overextend yourself, because that's where the penalties kick in. Does that answer your first question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
And just remind me what the other thing that you wanted to raise, the second one, because it was quite a lengthy question.
The types of products that,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's polite for me to even ask how old you are. But we have different products for different age groups. So I would assume that you are over the age of 18. And I would assume that, I beg your pardon?
Yes, well over.
Well over, okay. So we've got products like, for instance, for people over the age of 18, which is Unlock.me. It's a bank account, and it's relatively cheap, and it's actually designed for the youth segment. But then also, then we've got also under at that stage, after 25, you get like a product called basically young professionals. So these will be people probably who've just come out of school and they've become accountants, doctors, or running businesses and that sort of thing. And those actually are tailor-market made to those people's needs. Again, I don't want to speak out of turn, and I want to give you a concrete answer. Email me on nolwazi@co.za again, and then I will basically find out your details and be able to supply you with a full suite of the products and everything, and then you will see where you fit in, because I have to assess you and be able to explain to you this is what's available to you.
Thank you, Nolwazi. There's a question, there's a hand from Temperance. Temperance, you can unmute.
You're welcome, Skylo.
Hello.
Hi, Temperance, you can ask your question.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for the informative session. I wanted to ask that with everything, what is it that specifically Standard Bank has for graduates in terms of brand alignment? not even necessarily graduates, but people, students who are still within their studies who would maybe one day like to be affiliated with Nedbank?
Okay, sorry, Temperance, you'll have to start again because I missed you at the beginning there.
Okay. Hi, thank you so much for the lovely session.
Okay, sister, no problem. So
yes.
Your question, ma'am, again?
My question was, what programs does Nedbank have for students who are intending on one day working for Nedbank in terms of their brand alignment?
Oh, absolutely. Temperance, we have got something called the Nedbank Graduate Program, which is run by our HR team. So what we do, I don't know if you're a student, you will see most of these. Oh well, you won't see it this year because of COVID, but you'll see a lot of these activations where we come and we start to share with you all the opportunities that are available at Nedbank in all different areas. So if you want corporate investment banking, you will have a stand there. If you want to get into retail and do like quantitative analytics, all of those things, we come to universities to market what we can do, because you must remember, for the bank to grow, we need talent. And so talent search and acquisition is key, because we're fighting for top talent. We're fighting against every single company in South Africa. So we come to your campus, and at the end of the day, we want to select the best, and also basically because we need fresh blood. So we have those things that we offer as well. And also, again, if you want more information, I'm in touch with the talent, with the talent team in HR who runs all of this work.
Okay.
Are you a student at Temperance?
Yes, I'm a student.
Okay, so just let me know that you're a student, and you can furnish me with the details that you find that you're comfortable with, because there's bursary programs, we've got graduate recruitment programs, we even do programs like maybe Mashadi will help. It's like what do you call it? These programs where students come in.
Learnerships.
Learnerships, that's the word, sorry. Learnership programs, and we partner with a lot of other different companies that help us get those learners in.
Okay.
Also part of the YES campaign and all of that stuff.
So we also partner with the Guyasa as well as the Letsema. So we're also part of those programs.
Okay, thank you so much.
Please send your details, Temperance, so that
I'll definitely send it
direct
now.
you. Yeah, I don't want to direct you the wrong way. And also just give me a good 24 hours, because sometimes I'm just going to try to link you to the right person.
Okay, perfect. We've got a few more hands, Evans and Lulama. We're going to come to you shortly. Just going back to the Q&A box, there's a question around business funding, specifically for business ideas and business plans. I'm not sure if you can maybe speak to that.
Do you fund students with business ideas and business plans? You know, I don't want to mislead you here, Lubabalo. But again, please send your email to me, because I'm just thinking the unlock.me proposition that we have might, please excuse me. I'm sorry, guys, I've got kids here and it's homeschooling, so excuse the noise. So Lubabalo, again, please send it to me, and then I'll definitely basically send this forward to the youth, head of youth, and they will be able to give you an adequate answer. And then obviously anonymous attendee, follow up on Sitalo's first, okay, it's moving. Follow up on Sitalo's first question. How does Nedbank ensure that they give their clients low interest charges? I hope I make sense. The way that we must understand how, you know, when you access a loan, there are universal principles according to risk assessment. So like I said, at the end of the day, we obviously are we endeavor to actually create a good risk assessment and your interest rate based on that. I hope that makes sense, because the idea is to basically, and you know, when we talk about risk as when you're borrowing the money, what's the likelihood of you actually paying it back or whatever the case might be. And if you loan it for a business, we assess what's the viability of this business. And based on that, you know, the risk, people who sit at risk and they calculate, all the clever people will calculate and make sure that they give the most appropriate interest. I am able to, then Sibusile says, am I able to come and volunteer whilst I'm studying? If yes, how? Sibusisi, I will have to, I hope it's a Sisi. I will have to also again channel this via HR because I'm not familiar with the process.
Nolwazi?
Yes, Bronwyn?
It's Bronwyn, yeah. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Good, good. Can I answer this question? Is it okay?
Yes, please, Bronwyn. Yes.
Okay, thanks so much. So Sibusile Dlamini, correct? I am in the CSI space for Nedbank. And what we normally do when it comes to volunteering, there's different projects that we do have under Mandela Day campaigns, etc. Our volunteers are obviously our Nedbank staff members. However, there's some of our projects where we do encourage family and friends to join in and be part of this project. However, the person has to be a Nedbank staff member that works obviously for Nedbank and can pull you in to volunteer as well. Then there's also other options whereby we have other projects that might filter in and we would need students. So maybe if you could send an email, or if you could leave your details with Malusi, and I could just have your details handy, just in case there's one or two projects where we would need students, I'll gladly be able to pull you in for that. But if it comes to a project specifically, what we call, it's a team challenge project that we normally have every single year, we need to have a Nedbank staff member. So for example, let's say your aunt or your uncle or someone in your family works for Nedbank, or somebody that you know, and they form part of this project called Team Challenge, you can happily volunteer and become part of their team. And that's also a way where volunteerism can filter into you. We've had students before that has been part of this project, it was such a success for them as well, because at the end of the year, they've also received a formal certificate from Nedbank as part of this team, joining the team and obviously successfully executing all the tasks that was required at that time. So please give your details over to Malusi, and if there's anything in the future or in the next few months that does come up for students per se, I can gladly obviously just send you an email and notify you. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Bernice, I don't know if we're eating into much of your time because you only gave us 30 minutes.
Yes, I think, Nols, we can hand over. Thank you very much.
So I just want to just end, no, you're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm saying, so, Ms. Malauti and Sinamile, please can you just send your questions to me directly on Nedbank so that I can help you, so that you don't feel like you're left out. Okay.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Nolwazi. I think we can hand back to Andile. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernice.
All right, there's a few more hands. Do we want to take more hands or should we look to wrap up the session?
It's really up to you how you want to do it, Malus. Like I said, I'm speaking to Andile.
Andile, yes.
Really,
can I just clarify with Itu, Nols? Let me quickly clarify with Itu Maleng. Itu Maleng, there was meant to be someone after us. Is that still going ahead? Itu? I can't hear Itu. Bronwyn, perhaps you
Hi,
can
Bernice.
comment.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, fine. There's no one. It's just this presentation only for
Okay.
today. All right.
Okay, then Knowles, we do have till 11. So if you want to continue.
Okay. I was answering anonymous attendee has a Nedbank as the Nedbank graduate program for 2022 closed, and is it open to law students? I can definitely let you know that it's open. It is open to law students, but I will ask the team at the graduate recruitment office if they are done for 2022, because I don't know whether this COVID situation has delayed staff or what the case might be. So again, just send me an email, specific request, and then I'll ask the team at graduate recruitment to actually get back to you with your question. And then what are the benefits of opening business account with Nedbank? There are many, but I'm no expert in terms of this area. This I'll have to channel to the business banking team, but you've just got to be clear in your subject whether you are a small business or whether you are an established business, so that I know to actually take it to small business banking or to business banking. Which are two different, they cater for businesses, but businesses at different levels. Do you have a legal department for law graduates that are fresh out of university? Sinamile. We have a legal department, but I don't know if it's for law graduates fresh out of university. That also, again, I'll have to basically make sure, I don't want to mislead you. I have to make sure that I actually pass this through to the legal team, legal department, and they will come back to you with an answer. Is everyone allowed to email you their queries, or only those who ask? Anonymous. I've got a feeling I'm going to have a very good, very long week. You can still email to me, because my job is to facilitate and make sure that you are able to get the answers that you need. So just bear with me that it may take time. It's not going to happen immediately, because obviously there's so many other queries that I have to attend to. How does a bank deal with someone who borrowed money to start a business before COVID, but then COVID happened and the business is not doing well? Is the bank putting in more interest on? No, there was a release, like if you Dimpiwe, you know, there were release packages that were actually issued by banks and also by for businesses. I can't really say the detailed process of how you go about actually accessing those business relief packages. But then again, send an email and just say business relief packages for businesses affected by COVID as a subject line. And I would also request all of you, when you send me an email, the subject line must be clear exactly what it is that you are asking for. So if you are asking for products for youth, just say products for youth and that sort of thing. And then,
Notes, what I've done is on the chat, I have said to our attendees that we will share the various department email addresses where they can table their questions with the direct with the direct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What I'm worried about is I don't want you to be inundated with emails, you know, over and above our daily core responsibilities. Where somebody in the right department would be able to give an accurate and speedy response.
Okay, so Shadi, if I'm understanding you correctly, you are just going to also just email those, you're going to send, in this forum, we'll share those email addresses, right?
So I will share them with Andile, and then Andile can share with the students or with the stakeholders.
Okay, so everybody, then we are clear around the fact that Mashadi will share with Andile all the various departments that I mentioned, and then you'll channel your queries there, because obviously I'm seeing that there's a lot already, and I'm starting to get worried that I don't want to take too long in terms of addressing it, whatever it is that you require addressing. Is everybody comfortable with that?
So the email address, just to rectify Nolwazi's email address, it's Nedbank, not Netbank. So it's Nolwazi h@ned, Nedbank, Nedbank. So I would suggest that they CC you, Nolwazi. So I am looking for those email addresses. I will share immediately after the session. And then what we can do is they can CC you on those requests. If it's brand related queries, we are more than happy to address those. Or if it's questions that we already have answers to, we will then address those.
Okay, I think that's
I'm just looking and I'm just trying to see the people who actually were off the mark. I've got to go back because there's a lot of emails already. The one person that responded off the block is the drowning lady. Puti, you're one of our winners. I'm going to CC Bernice. She was quick off the mark, off the block. Next one who was off the block was Pelandi. Pelandi. Good morning, Lerato here. My favorite ad is the second one. It's also relevant to young people because of reckless spending. So it's the cell phone one. So Pelandi, second off the block. Lerato. So I'm just sending Bernice because I want this to be free, like to be fair. Then there is Abigail. Abigail says, I love the last video. I want a bank that takes my money seriously. So I assume the last ad you're talking about is the drowning lady. Okay. Congratulations. And then I'm gonna, Kentani said the second ad is my favorite, which is the cell phone one. Ooh, fourth. And then the last, Claudia, you said, morning Nolwazi, my favorite ad has to do with the basketball player because it shows more detail on fast things that can catch fire and how Nedbank can help control the fire. Oh, lovely, Claudia. Thank you for that detailed feedback. You are our last winner. And unfortunately to everybody else, we wish, we had more, because just from you attending this, it is an honor for us to be able to host you. Thank you very much. Is there anything further required from my side? I mean, Bernice, are you happy with, I've CC'd you the winners as they came into my mailbox.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nolwazi, and thanks for facilitating a great session. And congratulations to all our winners. Thank you for very valuable feedback on our ads. So yes, I think that's a wrap from us, from Nedbank. Thank you everyone for taking the time out to listen, and thank you so much Nawazi and Mashadi for driving the whole session for us from a Nedbank perspective. And yes, looking forward to next year. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Bernice, and to everybody else, thank you for your time. It's been an honor.
Thank you. On behalf of Enactus South Africa, we'd like to thank all the Nedbank representatives that made the session possible. We thank you for taking time out of your busy diaries to share this information with our students. And then a note to our students is to keep your eyes glued on our website and social media pages for some opportunities from Nedbank, their graduate programs, their bursaries, and so on. When those are out, we'll continue to post them on our side, and then you'll have access to all that information. Thank you everyone for joining the session this morning. We'll now adjourn. Have a lovely day further.